Before he ever laced up a pair of gloves under the big lights, Monroe Brooks had already mastered the art of self-belief. Born on May 9, 1953, in Wichita Falls, Texas, Brooks was just 12 years old when he walked into the local boys' club and discovered boxing. It wasn't long before he acquired a Muhammad Ali level of confidence. When young Monroe spotted sportswriter Ted Buss ringside at a local tournament, he made a point to tap him on the shoulder. "My name's Monroe Brooks," he told the reporter. "You'll be writing about me in a couple years anyway. Might as well get started now." Brooks wasn't bluffing. By 16, he was a standout on the Texas amateur scene, making waves in gyms and tournament brackets across the state. In 1972, he reached the semifinals of the Texas State Golden Gloves, where he faced off against the highly touted Bubba Busceme. Brooks appeared to outbox his opponent, but when the decision was announced, it was Busceme's hand that was raised. One reporter called it, quote, "the worst decision I've ever seen in amateur boxing." The loss stung. Brooks contemplated walking away from the sport altogether, but rather than quit, he recalibrated. "If I'm going to risk getting robbed," he said, "I might as well get paid for it." At the time, Brooks was training under Sam Willingham, who was in the Air Force. When Willingham was transferred to Mather Air Force Base in Sacramento, he urged Brooks to head west and turn pro. "I imagine if I'd hung around Wichita Falls," Brooks admitted later, "I'd have ended up without much of a job, or in jail." The road to stardom rarely comes without detours, and Brooks hit his first one early. Despite his move to Sacramento, things didn't pan out with Sam Willingham. The two couldn't strike a deal, and Brooks, undeterred, shifted gears. He headed south to Los Angeles with his sights still locked on the prize. That's where he walked through the doors of the Hoover Street Gym and into the orbit of Henry Davis, a former fighter turned cabbie turned gym owner. Brooks walked in and laid it out plain. "I want to box professionally," he told Davis. The old trainer wasn't convinced. Not yet. "He thought I was jiving," Brooks recalled, "until he saw me. One look at the kid's footwork, his jab, his confidence, and Davis didn't hesitate. He signed him on the spot." Inside those gritty gym walls, Brooks sharpened his skills against some of the best. Jimmy Hare, Rodolfo Gonzalez, Hedgeman Lewis, that was his classroom. He soaked it in, and by the time he made his pro debut in LA, he was more than ready. Brooks built momentum after he began fighting at Sacramento's Memorial Auditorium, where he soon became a featured attraction. It was there that he captured the California State lightweight title. The Sacramento Bee credited him with single-handedly reviving boxing in the capital city. His charisma matched his fists. He dubbed himself Tiger and proclaimed he had the fastest hands in the West. Fans bought in, so did the rankings. By December of 1973, Brooks's record stood at 14-0-2, and he cracked the top 5 in the lightweight division. But the next summer, his unbeaten streak came to an end. On a 4-fight swing through Mexico, Brooks suffered his first loss, a disputed decision against southpaw Leoncio Ortiz in what his team described as a hometown call. No matter. Brooks returned to California with his swagger intact. A piece of his contract was sold to the famed and connected LA manager Jackie McCoy. With McCoy now in his corner, Brooks's career gained new steam. He became a fixture in 2 of California's most storied venues, the LA Olympic and Sacramento's Memorial Auditorium. Wherever he fought, he delivered. By early 1975, Brooks wasn't just a fighter on the rise. He was a fighter who had arrived. He simultaneously held the California state titles at lightweight, junior welterweight, and welterweight. 3 divisions, 3 belts. Then came August, and with it, the bright lights of television. Brooks was matched against Adolfo Viruet, a slick, high-volume puncher from the Bronx who made his name on grit and work rate. Under the cameras for the first time, Brooks fell flat. Viruet outpaced him over 12 rounds, earning a clean, unanimous decision. Brooks pointed to overtraining. His camp pushed hard for a rematch, but a return bout never materialized. Brooks said Viruet priced himself out. Brooks shook off the loss and went back to work, taking on Pancho Del Toro at the LA Olympic.
Monroe Brooks, the red trunks, the white stripes, and the red boxing shoes. Back to you. His opponent, Francisco Pancho Del Toro. As pro, Del Toro's record, 33 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 16 of the 33 wins by KO. He fought Monroe Brooks 4 months ago in Lake Tahoe, and Brooks was a big favorite, but Del Toro took him to a 10-round decision and gave him some trouble. Brooks won the fight, clearly, but Del Toro gave him troubles. That is Francisco Pancho Del Toro, the white trunks. In red, with his back to you, Monroe Brooks. 2 years younger at 23, 2.5 inches taller at 5'8", same weight at 140. He had a long, well, not so long, but a busy amateur career. Would you believe this? Brooks had 109 wins, 17 losses as an amateur before turning pro, and he's had 36 pro fights, lost only 2 of them, 2 draws. 20 of the 32 wins by KO. That is Monroe Brooks. 1 minute left. First round scheduled for 10. Jim Healy ringside at the 11 Gutter Drive in Los Angeles, California. So far, that caught right eye of Del Toro looks like it's holding up all right, and no problem right now. But we're very, very young in this 10-round fight. 1 minute and 20 seconds left in round 2. Jim Healy ringside at the 11 Gutter Drive in Los Angeles. Well, the chant is Mexico, Mexico, Mexico for Pancho Del Toro from Gomez Palacio in Mexico. That's a close fight so far, but I don't think Monroe Brooks has yet turned it on. Now he has right hand by Brooks. All right, here comes Brooks. He's turning it on for the first time. He's been playing the first 2 rounds. I don't imagine those body shots feel any too good. The crowd is all for Del Toro, so again, believe what you see, not what you hear. 1 minute left, round 3, scheduled for 10. Carried him to 10 tough rounds. Brooks won the decision, but it wasn't easy. Right hand, Del Toro. But Brooks not hurt. Well, you listen to this crowd, you'd think Del Toro's killing Brooks, wouldn't you? Pay no attention. He's giving him trouble, and he's fighting a game fight, but well, let's let it go there. Shot to the tummy by Monroe Brooks. But Del Toro comes right back. Mike's been hit with the body shots Del Toro has. I'd be back in the dressing room. I'd call a cab and get to the dressing room and stretch out. Left hook almost dropped Del Toro to the chin. You're all right. Left, 1 minute, round 5. Because Brooks has his back to you and is screening you off, sort of, I don't think you can tell the impact of his punches, but he is really loading them with mustard. He's throwing bombs. Monroe Brooks with his back to you. He's fighting a gutsy guy. Del Toro was caught at the right corner of the right eye in the first round. Hasn't given him any trouble since. But the cut is still there. Scheduled for 10. That's round 5. Hold on. Got 38. 30 seconds left, round 6, scheduled for 10. Nobody down. Pretty gutsy Roger Del Toro in white. He's hanging in there, although Monroe Brooks clearly ahead on points. Hard to pick. That's round 6. That's Pancho Del Toro in white. Monroe Brooks, nobody down. Brooks apparently has a fairly comfortable lead on points, apparently. Scheduled for 10. Now Brooks has switched southpaw. Del Toro did it briefly in round 6, and it was only brief for Brooks, too. He's back right-handed. Brooks' head, but Del Toro does not punch hard enough really to stun Brooks. The crowd is misleading. Exactly 1 minute left, round 7. Not closed, not the eye. Thickly coated with ointment now, the right corner of the right eye of Del Toro. A little alley shuffle, a little hot dogging by Monroe Brooks. And Del Toro's boosters, they're in the majority. They don't like it. Shame on you, Monroe. Monroe Brooks, I would guess, is comfortably ahead on points. He's facing it. He has been the California State lightweight, junior welterweight, and welterweight champion, though he no longer can make the lightweight limit of 135 pounds. He is also the number 2 ranked junior welterweight in the world, and within 3 months he is expected to challenge for and win the world junior welterweight title. He is Red Trunk Monroe Brooks with his back heel. In case you clicked along late, Pancho Del Toro with his back heel in white had a nick at the right corner, a cut of his right eye in the first round, but his corner has done a good job. The corner man keeping that eye cut patched up. Hasn't bothered him. Del Toro had the big punch. That right hand to the chin might have put Brooks in the red trunks. Races out of his corner for the 10th and final round. Nobody has been down but Pancho Del Toro in white. The underdog apparently is well behind on points. Dr. Schwartz came into the ring between rounds for the first time to check that cut at the right corner of the right eye of Del Toro. He suffered in the first round. It's given him no trouble. Dr. Schwartz said, nah, it's not bad. Let him go. Brooks would seem to be far ahead on points. He could coast to a win, but he obviously wants a knockout, doesn't he? And Del Toro's complaining again. The right eye busted open and bleeding again. Del Toro's beefing about something. Maybe tell him to stop hitting me, referee. 2 minutes, long time, 2 minutes left. Tiene que tirar también. 20 seconds.
gentlemen, in a tremendous fight, both men fighting valiantly, unanimously the winner, Monroe Brooks.
The bout was Brooks's 8th straight win. The rhythm was back. The fastest hands in the West were humming again. Then the call came. A title shot. WBC junior welterweight champion Sainsak Mongsuren in Thailand. Brooks entered the Lion's Den as an 8-5 underdog. And it didn't start well. An airline strike delayed his arrival in Thailand by 10 days, killing his training rhythm and cutting into his acclimation time. Still, he came out fast. In the first round, Brooks landed a shot that clipped Mongsuren's chin and sent him to the canvas, but the referee waved it off. No knockdown. The third round brought more fireworks. Brooks put the champ on the deck again, and this time it counted, but Mongsuren was a grinder, a pressure machine. As the fight wore on, Brooks began to fade. By the 10th, he looked flat. By the 14th, he was on the mat. The 15th was the end. Mongsuren poured it on and stopped him in front of a roaring Thai crowd. After the bout, Brooks didn't mince words. "Worst ring I ever fought in," he said. "Lumps in the canvas. Soft spots everywhere. I couldn't move. I couldn't box." But there was more to the story. In the days before the fight, trainer Henry Davis had noticed something off. He accused Brooks of coasting through camp, not training hard enough. Brooks snapped back. They argued. After the fight, Brooks checked into a hospital and got the answer. His blood count was dangerously low. He had fought 15 rounds for a world title with an undiagnosed case of anemia. The hits didn't stop there. Later that same year, a scheduled showdown with rising contender Randy Shields was scrapped. Brooks was hospitalized again. Acute anemia. The Tiger wasn't just out of gas. He was running on fumes no one could see, but the story wasn't over yet. After the Mongsuren heartbreak and the anemia diagnosis, Brooks did what fighters with fire in their belly do. He picked himself up and started winning again. Then came Bruce Curry. The Olympic Auditorium in Los Angeles was the site, but this wasn't just another main event under the hot lights. This was personal. Curry wasn't just an opponent. He was family once, a friend of Monroe's younger brother Overton. When Curry came out west with a head full of dreams and empty pockets, it was Monroe who put a roof over his head, who fed him, who gave him clothes and a shot. Then he started thinking about how much better he is than everybody else, Brooks told reporters. "To me, he's just an ungrateful kid. He was lazy. He didn't want to work. He wanted to be taken care of. We got into several arguments. No punches were thrown, but we came close." Brooks and his trainer Henry Davis had even signed Curry to a managerial contract before the fallout. After things soured, Brooks sold off his share. By the time they met in the ring, the gloves may as well have been off. What followed wasn't boxing. It was an alley fight in silk trunks. Blood and bad memories. Two men trying to settle a score the past wouldn't let go.
You thought Curry looked a little tired of weighing this morning, didn't you, Angelo?
Yeah, it looked like it was a little lean, and a little, his face was a little lean, too lean, it looked to me. That's the only thing that worries me about him. If he took off the weight without hurting himself, because he's a natural welterweight.
Hey, both of these boys can put you to sleep with one punch.
Looks like Brooks has his trunks pulled up almost to his armpits.
Good right hand on top of the head by Curry.
Remember, they were roommates. And at one time thought the other guy was their buddy. It can be a pretty tough fight sometimes when you finally square off.
This don't look like no buddy-buddy fight to me. Big hook, big right hand by Curry.
That was two bombs going off. Boy.
Remember, Curry had Benitez down 4 times. Benitez the champion. He lost the fight, but he had him down 4 times.
Well, it was very controversial, that decision. Most of the New York newspaper men had Curry the winner, and that was against the world champion. So you're looking at some of the top men in the world in here right now. That's right.
Round 1 of 12 for the North American Championship. The super lightweights. There are about 30 seconds left in round 1. Man, they're pitching big stuff.
Hey, Brooks just doesn't seem to have his rhythm yet.
Both of them are very tight, Gil.
Yeah.
Them having this hate for each other. Their rhythm is not in there yet. When they settle down, it's going to be a vicious fight to look at.
We're going to settle down in about 6 seconds. right, gentlemen, who had the first round?
I have to give it, to me, that was an even round. Both were good punches.
They're fighting like golden glovers. They're letting everything go.
Gil, who did you like in the first round?
I called it even.
2 evens.
You know, a lot of people say there's no such a thing as an even round. I couldn't pick anybody in that first round.
Brooks shook him up, though, right at the end with that hook, a couple of hooks.
There he goes. Left hook. Left hook.
Tell you, this Curry can punch. He had Benitez down 4 times.
Thomas is making sure with the standing. It's 2 minutes and 23 seconds left in round 2, and Curry really hits.
Curry just hit him again. Brooks is completely hit him when he was down.
Going to the slip.
No, he didn't knock him down.
Brooks is supposed to be the experienced fighter. He just got nailed again.
Very hurt. He's trying to land a lucky punch himself, and he's getting nailed. Great punches.
I'll tell you, Curry can really stick it.
The people certainly are excited, and they have a right to be.
Monroe.
Great folks throwing great punches.
Has Monroe weathered it? Does he look clear now?
Looks like he's
Yeah,
coming
he seems
back
to be
a
all
little
right.
bit. No, he's hurt yet. He's hurt. He's definitely hurt.
Trying to punch too hard. Wait, there he tried it again. He got nailed again.
Bruce Curry can really go for it.
Yes, he can.
Don't forget your
Brooks
station
is
along the
wobbling around
network.
the ring.
We're going to have a station break after this. You local stations hanging in.
You won't see a better punch thrown that they're throwing in this round. Everything is thrown to get somebody out of there. Both fellas are looking for the big haymaker.
I tell you, if he doesn't get Brooks out of there, you know, Curry has a tendency to tire. That's been his history, especially how to make the weight.
Looks like Brooks is moving away from some of those punches now. He may weather it. He was down once and slipped once, right?
That's an old good doctor. Experience.
Big hook by Monroe Brooks. Another one will return to the Olympic after this word from your local station. Oh, live from the Olympic in the 3rd round, and they are super lightweights. Curry dropped Monroe Brooks once for a knockdown, once a slip, but Monroe did come back and land some good punches later in that round.
Yes, he did. He's a very smart fighter. He slips real well. He just ran into the inside left hook, and he got knocked down with it.
Gil was the overthrow, and you got...
Brooks just landed 2 bombs. I tell you, I've never seen 2 fighters load up and both wing the way these 2 boys are doing.
They're looking for the home run instead of looking for those little hits, you know what I mean? They're just not working their way into position, just looking for one shot.
I tell you, Curry's corner told him between rounds to use his left jab, 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 and I'm sure that Brooks's corner must have told him to box too. But these fellas have this emotional feeling against each other, and they're letting boxing go out the window.
Remember, Brooks, there's always been a feeling about West Coast fighters not really being tough. Is that just a old wives' tale or old boxer's tale or something you got?
Well, no, I guess it's an old wives' tale when it comes to these 2 fighters.
They're not going to fight too tough, huh?
Monroe Brooks is coming on very strong.
Well, you can see Curry working with Brooks. They used to work together in the gymnasium also. You see how he's avoiding a lot of punches that Brooks is throwing at him, and vice versa.
A little better footwork, though, by Brooks, perhaps.
Oh, a much smoother competitor, and more, more fights is showing.
I tell you, Brooks is the more experienced fighter, but Curry throws the straighter punches, the more direct punches. Brooks is a real winger. He wings wide punches. There it is again.
Round 3 is almost over. Tell you, if the Rams teed it up like this, they'd have won the Super Bowl. Okay, we're in California Live. That's Curry on the right, Monroe Brooks on the left, and they have not stopped loading up big stuff since they stepped in.
I noticed something at the end of the round. Monroe Brooks is looking to make Curry throw right hands and counter his right hands by pulling from the punch, like he did right there. Pull his head to the left, try a right hand counter. Now, if Curry throws a right hand in, you'll see him do it, and it's a very effective move. Monroe's definitely looking to set him up for a right hand counter. Watch the way he pulls every time.
That was the first good body punching in the fight. The referee just took a knockdown. The referee slipped, took a knockdown. I would like to have seen both fighters stop and start counting over the referee.
Oh, big hook by Brooks. Curry's in trouble.
I tell you, the way these guys are going, anybody can be in trouble at any time. I'd still box if I was Brooks. I'd still go back to boxing.
Well, Curry came right back to those short, straight punches.
Big right hand by Curry. Big.
There goes that right hand counter. See it?
Curry now has a cut right eye.
There's Curry's right eyelid is cut, or the eyebrow.
On top of the eye, Tom.
Boy, they loaded up, both of them.
Yeah. They're both countering each other very effectively.
Tell you, Brooks better stop trying to throw those wide punches. He's going to get nailed again. He's winging too wide. I'm surprised.
How much blood's coming from Curry's eye?
Don't look like that bad a cut.
Thomas is going to look at it.
No, not that bad a cut.
I like it that the referee looked.
Great right hand in the fight.
He's hurt.
By Curry. He's hurt Brooks.
He's hurt.
He has him hurt.
There he goes again. Right hand counter.
Oh, he's waiting for it too, isn't he?
Yeah. Another
Closing seconds of a great round.
boxing. He knows what he's doing. He stopped the cut pretty good.
You gotta have a good cut, man. Let's see if the blood stopped from Curry's eye.
He stopped it.
You're not going to get a more experienced guy than Jake Shagoo.
No, he's a real fine-class man. Monroe still winning. There goes it right hand now. That's right.
You can't throw those wide punches against a quick puncher like Curry.
Curry stays right inside and waits for him to throw him, doesn't he?
That's Curry's fight. When you win, you're in danger. Brooks should be using his experience looking to tire Curry out. Curry did have to make the weight, but instead he's looking to get him out of there with every punch.
Right hand counter again. I'll tell you one thing, these guys came to fight. It's a great fight. I'm enjoying it immensely.
Two Texas. Oh, that was open hand, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Open glove.
Remember, Curry wasn't too impressed with Carlos Palomino. Remember that?
Another right hand counter by Curry. Landed high, though.
He is dangerous. If I was in Brooks' corner now, I'd have him boxing, feinting, trying to tire this kid out. Take some of that sting out of his punches.
When you go in, watch them when they're in the clinches, Tom. They bump shoulders. They're like a lineman moving the guy out of position. Watch them when they get in close. They bump shoulders. You know, doesn't that Monroe look so much bigger than that Curry?
Yes, he does. He's a big, strong kid.
He's a big, strong fella.
But as we spoke about before, Angela, muscles don't make punching power.
Looks like Curry isn't landing real good punches, even though they look good, don't they? Sometimes they look half open.
Oh, no, he's throwing real good shots. Only thing is,
punch in the fight by Brooks.
I was just about to tell you, looks like Curry's starting to wear out.
Yeah, he's getting
that
tired.
weight making maybe took a lot out of this kid.
Brooks is coming on strong, and Curry's right there. Round 5 is gone. Score time, you guys. What do you think after 5? Where are we?
This fight is up for grabs, but I tell you, the first minute and a half of this round is going to be very, very important. If Curry doesn't nail Brooks with a couple of good punches now, he's going to start to run out of gas.
Brooks hit him with some good left hooks at the closing
The
minutes.
time for Curry to nail him is now in the beginning of the round when he has his strength.
Brooks doesn't look like he's afraid of anything, does he?
Oh, he looks like he's trying to take charge. Only thing about Curry, he's a very deceptive young man. He slips and moves on you a little bit, and he hits you with real good punches.
He's as quick as a snake.
That was blocked by Brooks with a glove, wasn't it?
Just got hit with a right-hand counter. Beautiful right-hand.
Punches are his body punches, like that one right there. That's what's taking it out of Curry.
Good right hand. Great left hook again.
I tell you, Brooks is losing his head.
I'll tell you, Brooks can take a punch.
Yes, he can. He's walking in like you think he was doing a hitting.
Don't forget, we'll have a station break. You stations along the network.
These body punches of Brooks are starting to take effect. You see Curry's mouth is wide open now. There was another good left hook to the body.
Oh.
Nice. Brooks' body punch is doing the job. See, there it is.
Brooks a little bit unsteady.
Mouthpiece is out.
Mouthpiece coming out. They're going to have to wash it now.
That was a lucky break for Curry. Lucky break. Brooks was just starting to get the distance. Lucky break.
The clock will stop. Thomas washed it out, and here they go again. And look at Monroe. Brooks going right over and going on it.
Well, the thing is, Brooks had that rhythm. He was starting to throw that left hook to the body. Now he's back up to the head. That mouthpiece coming out of Curry's mouth was a lucky break.
Body punches took a lot of steam out of Curry. The two left hooks to the body.
I'll tell you, Monroe Brooks that time sort of danced a little bit, too.
He got hurt. He got hurt with that left hook. He's determined, though.
40 seconds left in round 6. It's set for 12.
Brooks is starting to leave himself open, coming in. There. That's why I said it.
Oh!
This is not going to go no 12.
That's Brooks' best punch when he throws that left hook to the body.
But good when he hooks to the body, leaving his chin wide open. There he goes again. That's the one time he gets nailed.
Well, return to the Olympic after this word from your local station. If we can stop the fighters.
Beautiful.
After 6, my friends, how do you see it?
Right now, the fight's up for grabs. It's anybody's fight.
Can it possibly go 12 like this?
You never know with fights. That's what's so intriguing about it. Could possibly go. You never know.
In that first round, I didn't think it was going to go 3, and I don't think Angelo did either, but they're still both in. They're both still winging.
I'll tell you, Monroe Brooks has taken some shots, too.
I'll tell you, big left hook by Curry. He hurt Monroe again. He has him hurt.
I'll tell you that Monroe Brooks will come back fighting, though.
He's marking the recruitment of powers, but I don't know if he's going to get over this round.
50 seconds left in round 7, and Curry's really going to work.
Brooks is walking after him like he's doing the landing.
Well, Gil, that's a great tactic. Take the best the guy's got to throw at you.
That's
throw
right.
at him.
Takes
30 seconds
it right
left.
out of you.
And Monroe Brooks is now on the offense
He's
again.
got Curry hurt.
Yes, he does. I've never seen two fighters load up. Look at this punishment these fighters are taking. Angelo, I don't think I've seen a better fight in years.
No, great fight.
Two old friends, they can really fight. Round 8, and if you just picked it up, you missed some of the best boxing of the year. That's Curry on your right, Monroe Brooks now moving around to the right, and they've done everything. What do you think?
Well, this is going to be survival of the fittest. It's the only thing where I can see it, because they've both taken some great shots. Curry, for the first time, is starting to throw wide punches. You know what I mean? And he's usually a slick, straight strike puncher. See the way he's winging with the right hand? That's a bad sign.
I'll tell you, right now I have Curry 1 round ahead in the fight. But this is going to be the survival of the fittest.
Okay.
I'll tell you, that's the purpose of repetition and training.
All right.
What you've been taught to do is what you do under any circumstance.
Even when you're tired, it's tough.
When you're tired or whatever.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Monroe, what he's done right now is reverted to being cute there.
Oh.
Well,
Trying
a
to
big right hand by Curry. Now let's see if Brooks starts to walk in, show him who's boss. Or try to show him who's boss.
Brooks was down early in the fight, slipped another time, almost got knocked down in about the 6th round. And 8 is almost over, and they're still at it. North American Super Lightweight Championship, round 9 of 12. That's Curry on your right, and that's Monroe Brooks to your left.
Well, I'll tell you, we're into the 9th round, and the fact that Curry had to make 140 pounds should take something away from his stamina. Let's see how he finishes. I tell you, Curry's trying to suck. He's trying to suck Monroe Brooks into reaching with a punch. He's just flicking that left hand out there now, hoping that Brooks will reach over so he can nail him with that right hand.
This is what you're trying to call a recuperation round. They're both trying to recoup their strength. They're trying to get away without getting nailed in this round. They're both playing that way right now.
You know what amazes me is their legs are still good.
Well, that's youth, Tom. They're both young men. They both have a long way to go.
More blood from Bruce Curry's nose.
That's it. That's it. It's over. It's over. All over when you go down like that, Tom. All over. No more. All over. When you go down like that, it's all over.
34 seconds left in round number 9.
And the left hook did it.
Bruce Curry is the North American Super Lightweight Champion. Look at this hook. They have been measuring that all night.
I don't know exactly what happened, Brooks said. All I know is that for the first time in my pro career, I lost my head and didn't do what my manager said. It showed. Brooks vanished for 5 months. No fights, no press, just silence and soul-searching. And then, in December of 1978, a call came that fighters dream about. Roberto Duran, the Hands of Stone, the rampaging, fire-eyed legend from Panama. The purse? $25,000. More money than Brooks had ever seen for a single night of violence. But there was a problem. Brooks had bruised his ribs in training, and the anemia was still hounding him like a ghost. Injections, a fistful of pills. The doctor said he shouldn't be running and sparring in the same day. Manager Jackie McCoy wanted to pull out of the fight. Brooks didn't blink. He knew how rare this opportunity was. If I beat Duran, Brooks said, my whole life turns around. That's why I took the fight. Plus, I fear no man. So he bit down, kept quiet, and walked into a storm with the body of a tired man and the heart of a warrior who refused to go quietly.
This is round 1 at Madison Square Garden. On the right of your screen is the lightweight champion of the world, Roberto Duran. And now at the top of your screen is Monroe Brooks, a native of Texas, fighting out of Los Angeles. And as we commented earlier, certainly the toughest competitor that Duran has faced over the weight. And Brooks weighing in at 143, Duran at 147. And Gil Clancy, Duran looks to me to be a little heavy around the waist. I wonder how fit he is for this fight.
Well, I'll tell you, Tim, he weighed 147 on the nose at the weigh-in. But right now, I would say his weight is about 152 pounds. Now, that's 17 pounds above the lightweight limit.
And apparently he had a hard time getting down to 147.
Yes, he did. That's why I say he probably weighs 152 right now. He probably dried out, didn't have any breakfast. As soon as the weigh-in is over, he probably had some bouillon and then a good big breakfast. And then a big steak about 2:30, 3 o'clock. And right now, as I say, about 152 pounds.
Well, as the fight goes on, we'll watch to see whether that will be a factor or not. The fact that he doesn't look real slim and trim, and the fact that he had to really work hard to get down to the weight. But he's throwing punches in this first round like he's in excellent physical condition. Certainly Brooks is. He looks terrific.
Monroe looks like a trained racehorse. There's not an ounce of fat on him.
Look at this flurry by Duran, attacking as he always does right from the opening bell. Referee is Arthur Mercanti, well known throughout boxing circles and particularly well known in New York. One of the things that we've noticed about Duran in his last few fights is his tremendous improvement as a boxer. People still think of him, I think, as a street slugger, a guy that just came out there and threw leather and overpowered people, but he's really polished himself as a boxer.
Yes, he has. Got hit with 2 vicious left hooks.
Final seconds, Gil, of round number 1 for Madison Square Garden.
I tell you, Tim, he's carrying the weight real well. His body's even starting to look better as the fight goes on.
He still throws punches in bunches, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's a strong welterweight. He can handle a division.
Roberto Duran on the right of your screen. And you can see he's lost the N off the name on the bottom of his trunks. Apparently kind of stuck on there with some kind of adhesive, and he's lost the letter N. But that, I'm sure, is a farthest thing from his mind. The sheer joy of boxing is what you see with Duran. And if he gets hit, that's usually when he'll smile and then come back with a flurry of his own.
Well, I tell you, Brooks says, oh, goodness, got hit with a big right hand.
Straight right from Duran.
But I tell you, I like Brooks. When he gets hit a good hard punch, he fights back. He fights hard. That's what keeps him in the ballgame, Tim.
Duran has lost only once in 64 career professional fights. That to Esteban de Jesus. He revenged it with a victory for the lightweight championship.
Tim, you talk about the difference in the welterweight and the lightweight division. Probably that right hand that Duran landed. If he had a lightweight with that punch, I think the lightweight would have went down and out.
I would sure think so, and it's happened for him 50 times in 64 fights. Look at this. Duran really working on Brooks, but Brooks showing amazing stamina. We talked about his conditioning back in the first round. He is really ready physically for this fight, and he's showing he can take a punch.
Well, I'll tell you, there's something about that Madison Square Garden that bring the best out in fighters. He knew he was fighting in Madison Square Garden. He knew he was fighting a living legend, and he's in condition and ready to go. It's the opportunity of a lifetime. There's a sign of a smart fighter. When the referee broke Brooks, he walked away and he walked behind the referee. Gave him a chance to regroup. Yeah. That's something that's taught in the gymnasium. Doesn't happen by accident.
Now Brooks showing his class, and again his stamina as he took another fine right hand from Duran. Duran just looks like he loves being in that ring. Got to be the most exciting boxer active today. There are a lot of good ones around, but Duran would have to be at the top of the heap for fan appeal. Final seconds, round 4. Round number 6, Roberto Duran and Monroe Brooks. In the 5th round, Brooks came back strongly against Duran, but I guess we'd still have to have Duran ahead at this point, Gil.
Oh, yeah, Duran has won just about every round, but Brooks has been in every round, Tim. It's a question of Brooks landing one big punch and hurting Duran. If he can't do that, he can't win the fight.
Roberto Duran on the left of your screen, Brooks on the right. Two well-conditioned athletes. We talked about the conditioning of Duran. As you can see, he doesn't look all that to fit around the waistline, but boy, he has been throwing leather like he is in excellent shape.
Yes, there are. The welterweight division today, Tim, has more class fighters than any other division. You have the 2 champions. You have Palomino, you have Cuevas, you have Benitez, you have Weston, you have Dave Green, Sugar Ray Leonard. Just a great class, and with Duran moving up into the class, it's probably going to be the most exciting class in boxing today.
Boy, there's a youngster in Detroit, the name of Tommy Hearns, getting a lot of attention. He's been flattening everybody in sight. He's going to be a factor soon against name opponents.
Yes, you mentioned his name, and all of the top welterweights managers shake.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be trying to duck him for a while, but he's a name you're going to hear more about, Tommy Hearns. But right now, you're looking at Roberto Duran, the lightweight champion of the world, fighting at 147 pounds. He looks very comfortable at this weight. In fact, there's talk about Duran maybe even becoming a middleweight at some point.
Well, no, I would have to say that the welterweight limit is going to be it for Roberto Duran because of his height and his square build. But I think if he can handle welterweights, he's going to be a factor and maybe even a champion in a short time.
Good right hand.
Look at those short punches he's landing on Brooks now.
Now look at that look on his face, Gil. This is what makes him so exciting. He just loves the combat. Under a minute to go. We're in round 6. The crowd really loving it here in New York, as they do everywhere when Duran's fighting, and credit to Monroe Brooks. Ooh, Brooks is lucky Duran missed that one.
Yeah, but he didn't miss the follow-up. He knows his way on the inside, too. He keeps his elbows in close. Keeps him close to the body, and he's a good defensive fighter now, Roberto Duran.
Well, that's what we talked about earlier. Under 30 seconds to go. He has really developed as a boxer. He's much more than a fighter now. Referee Mercanti doing a good job, as always.
See the way Duran follows up. He throws a right hand, left hook comes right behind it.
Final seconds of round number 6. And Duran really seems to be dominating Brooks now for the first time, showing a little signs of tiring, Gil.
Yes, he is. Duran has been setting a tremendous pace, and he's been landing some heavy punches to Monroe Brooks.
And punishment. And any question about Duran's conditioning is moot now, because he has continued to throw a lot of punches and throw them together. Lots of combinations, showing no fatigue whatsoever.
I tell you, Brooks still looks like he's in good condition, but he's starting to flinch when Duran feints. He's feeling the effects of the punches.
The fighter's trying to do at that point. See what he's got left under him. Duran just landed another tough, short left. You could just see Brooks' head snap back from the punch. Tim Ryan and Gil Clancy. Brooks and Duran from Madison Square Garden in New York, round 8. Scheduled for 10. Duran just standing in there flat-footed now, measuring. Whoop! Down he goes. A hard left to the body.
Left hook to the liver, Tim.
5.
Boy, that hurt him.
6.
And it doesn't look like
7,
he's going to get up from that.
8. 9. 10.
That's it. It's all over. Arthur Mercanti says, sorry, Monroe. You've really had enough. It was a left to the body, right to the liver, as Gil Clancy pointed out. You can see how tired Brooks is now, and he's in some pain. A happy Roberto Duran. And does he love to fight? Let's take a look at that knockout punch again. Not too often you see a knockout punch like this, Gil.
No, it's a clean left hook to the liver.
A left hand by Duran, and really he had just staggered Brooks with the shots to the head, and that's all it needed was a good, tough body shot to send him down. And Brooks put up a great fight, but there is a happy Roberto Duran, an outstanding victory, and certainly now he's proved he's ready for the welterweight top contenders in the months ahead here in 1979.
After the loss, Jackie McCoy, the veteran manager who once guided world champions, quietly let Brooks go. Brooks licked his wounds in silence. Then 5 months later, he laced up the gloves again, not just with fists, but with faith. He joined the McCoy Baptist Church in Los Angeles, searching for something deeper than wins and losses. He admitted what most fighters never dare say aloud. Every time he walked to the ring, he felt death breathing down his neck. Still, he fought. Back in Sacramento, the crowds once cheered for him like he walked on water, but now they flocked to a new darling, Pete Ranzani. Monroe Brooks, once the king of the Memorial Auditorium, had become a familiar stranger. He signed with Muhammad Ali Professional Sports and trained under Jerry Sugar Strokes, trying to recapture what was lost. But instead of marquee bouts, Brooks found himself grinding through club fights. Tacoma, Seattle, Cincinnati, names nobody remembered, gyms that smelled of rust and old sweat. One night he scraped by with a split decision over a man with more losses than wins. It wasn't glory anymore. It was survival. I'm not in love with boxing like I once was, Brooks confessed. There's no romance now. I'm just in it for the finance. By May of 1982, the writing was on the wall. He dropped a one-sided decision to Ronnie Shields, then another to the savvy veteran Saul Mambi. The fire in his belly had turned to smoke. I've been doing this for 18 years, Brooks said, and it's becoming a bore. I realize how much I've missed. There's not any fun in this life. There's a lot of sacrifices to being a fighter. After the loss to Shields, Brooks sat in his locker room. He looked up and saw his brother standing there, face full of hurt. "Hold your head up," Brooks said. "I don't want nobody in my family walking around with their head down. I'm still my mother's son and my brother's brother." He wasn't talking like a fighter anymore. He was talking like a man who'd been to hell and taken notes. The fight game didn't break him. It just wore him out. He took another year off after that, poured drinks behind a bar in Los Angeles. But the ring always has a way of calling the lost back home. So he returned, one last time, to face Villamar Fernandez, an opponent who didn't hit hard, a safe test. But a right hand in the second round changed everything. Brooks staggered, legs gone. Fernandez moved in, 2 more shots. The ref waved it off. Brooks tried to reach out, maybe to congratulate the man, but he pitched forward into the ropes like a man falling out of a dream. They helped him to his corner. When he came to, he took the mic in hand and told the Sacramento crowd the truth. He was done. He left the sport and found work at a men's clothing store. Helped his son chase the same boxing dream he once followed, maybe hoping the road would be kinder this time. Brooks died in 2018, 65 years old. The memories faded, the cheers long gone, but his films show the grace in his grit, the poetry in his punch. A quiet reminder that not all champions wear belts.